The Mindbender was an amusement ride part of Galaxyland, a theme park located in the West Edmonton Mall of Alberta, Canada. On June 14th, 1986, the fourth car of the yellow train derailed before the third and final loop. The train failed to complete the loop and slid backward, losing traction and crashing into a concrete pillar. Damage from the derailment caused the lap bars to release at some point during the ride, throwing the 4 passengers to the floor below, which was said to be at least from 25 feet. 3 passengers died in the incident, while the 4th suffered critical injuries. Around 19 others were treated for less severe injuries at the nearby community hospital. An investigation concluded that the bolts on the left wheel assembly had come loose, causing the accident, and that design flaws by Anton Schwarzkopf, the coaster's creator, along with a lack of consistent maintenance by the mall, were likely to blame. This incident caused Mindbender to be shut down, but would eventually reopen in January of the next year. The train saw a much-needed redesign, and the current 4-car trains were converted to 3-car trains, ultimately reducing seat capacity from 16 to 12. Redesigns and tweaks of the coaster didn't end there, as anti-rollback features were installed. The lap bar remained untouched, but was reinforced with the addition of seatbelts and shoulder headrests. Rainbow was a swinging arm-type ride developed by Germany in the early 80s. According to Huss, the German manufacturing company that created the Rainbow, 41 units were produced and seen all over the world. The amusement park Liseberg was located in Gothenburg, Sweden, and included Rainbow in its park. It shared the same similarities throughout all the other rides and was working fine, but on July 15, 2008, it suddenly collapsed, leaving 30 people injured. The manager of the park stated that a ball bearing failure may have been what caused the ride to collapse. The ride would then go on to be disabled 2 days later. When investigators looked at the ride, they found that the ride had a faulty drive shaft. They also believed that one of the axles that was supposed to hold the passenger carriage horizontal failed. Finally, the ride's drive shaft was replaced by the manufacturing company in 2003. The Fujin Rajan was a stand-up ride with 2 trains, one red, the other blue, located at Expoland in Suita, Osaka. On May 5, 2007, the Fujin Rajan derailed and one of the cars in the blue train flipped over. 19-year-old college student Yoshina Kagiwara from Higashiomi, Shiga was unfortunately turned over alongside the car and had her head dragged on the catwalk's railings. She was killed and 19 other guests were injured. An investigation took place and revealed that the ride derailed due to a broken axle on the blue train. None of the ride's axles had been replaced for 15 years. Because of this incident, similar coasters at other Japanese parks chose to shut down and were inspected to see if they could have the same axle flaw that caused the accident. Authorities cited Expoland for faulty maintenance when similar axle cracks were found on a second train a month later. On July 15, 2008, 3 former Expoland employees, the director, administrative manager, the head of facility and business department, and the head of technical division all agreed with the allegation of professional negligence and violation of building standards law. They admitted to purposely postponing the coaster's regular inspection, even though a visible crack was noticed months earlier, as well as submitting a false inspection report. Ohio State Fair's doors opened on July 26, as that was the day of the 2017 opening. The Fireball was a seated ride that would propel riders in the air and swing them around. The ride unfortunately malfunctioned and broke apart mid-swing, causing the passengers to be flung off the ride. An 18-year-old man was killed after falling 50 feet. 7 others were injured. On top of this, 2 people were also reportedly in critical condition. The ride was claimed to have been inspected before it opened for operation. KMG, the ride's manufacturer, along with Chance Morgan, shut it down while they awaited an investigation. All the other amusement rides at the fair were closed the day after due to the Fireball incident, according to the Ohio Department of Agriculture and Ohio State Highway Patrol. Rides at different amusement parks that were made by the same manufacturer were also halted in response due to the incident. The Madrid Amusement Park is the largest theme park in the capital and is home to Tren de la Mina, or Mine Train. The ride incorporated a lot of sharp turns and drops, and on July 16, 2017, 33 people riding were injured when two trains collided with each other as the train they were riding in failed to stop after finishing its run and hit another one which was just about to leave the station. 27 of the riders were taken to a hospital suffering minor injuries. Paramedics say that of the riders, 6 children who were under the age of 10 were also injured in the accident. It was said that none of the injuries were considered serious, and the guests who were riding have all been treated for neck, back, and stomach pains. The Starflyer is the popular tower-based amusement ride that would spin seated riders up and around. It originated in Orlando, Florida. It is the tallest of its kind, standing at 450 feet. Carrickfergus Castle, Northern Ireland, had its own version of this called Top of the World, which stood at 60 meters. The ride was brought to Ireland by Planet Fun, a traveling fun fair. On Saturday, 24th July 2021, the ride malfunctioned. The ride swung beyond its perimeter and struck a number of signs belonging to the structure. 6 people were injured as a result and were taken to the hospital, including 3 children. A number of people were also treated for injuries at the scene, though the incident did not appear to cause anything life-threatening. After an investigation by the health and safety executive, it was found that there was a misuse of equipment by several teenagers. The Mall of America is the biggest mall in the United States and includes not just retail but many forms of entertainment and attractions. Inside the mall was a section called Nickelodeon Universe, which was home to many Nickelodeon-themed attractions and rides. The log chute was included in Nickelodeon Universe despite having no relation to Nickelodeon. The ride itself is a slow water ride with a couple of drops, similar to Splash Mountain. The incident would occur on Saturday, August 1st, 1998, when a 12-year-old boy, David Craig of Cable, Wisconsin, fell off the log chute. When the boat neared the top of the chute, the boy began to panic and reached outside of the log to grab a railing. Keep in mind, this ride has no seatbelts or anything to keep the riders in place. Anyway, the ride operator attempted to stop the ride, but the log had already begun its descent down the major drop. The boy lost his grip and fell off the ride onto the landscaping rocks. The boy later died from his injuries. O.D. Hopkins Associates Incorporated, the manufacturer of the ride, inspected it and found it was in proper working order. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting the sub button and turning on notifications. See you guys in the next one.